Hi all, Once and Future Gamer here and welcome to another Pokemon challenge. Last time we had a potential banana skin of a challenge as I took on Pokemon Fire Red with a single Azurill. Check it out if you haven't already. Today though, we stay in Kanto and head to Gen 1 as we see if I can beat Pokemon Yellow with a single Poliwag. Poliwag is a water type Pokemon from Gen 1. It has a 260 base stat total in that generation, with the best stat being speed by a comfortable mile. The next best being attack, though it is just slightly over half that of the speed. Everything else averages out at 40. 260 in Gen 1 is the same as Mankey and Pikachu. Slightly better than Clefairy, but 10 points worse than Horsey, Cubone, Magnemite, Bellsprout, Geodude and Machop. We're weak to grass and electric, we resist water, fire and ice. You know, the moveset isn't bad actually. We only have Bubble until level 16, but we get both Body Slam and Amnesia via level up, and Amnesia is broken in Gen 1. It is the equivalent of using Calm Mind twice due to the combined special stat, so we may have some fun. We get both Surf and Ice Beam via machine learning. We could even have Psychic as well if I really wanted to go that route. Thanks for watching folks, the rules are on the screen throughout. If you do enjoy what you see then like, subscribe and ring that bell. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Pikachu with Poliwag so that I can do the whole run with it. I want the rival to have Jolteon as his evolution to give us the hardest possible fight, so I need to beat him in the lab and on Route 22 later. We do conduct electricity very well. I nicknamed Poliwag Waggles because why not? Well, I just said that we need to win this fight to get the Jolteon. It turns out that Eevee can hurt us a lot more than we can hurt it. Just a single tackle wipes out nearly a third of our HP, and though it misses a few tail whips, it connects with one sooner rather than later, and despite us dropping it down to about a third, we do soon get taken out. So, if we avoid the Route 22 rival fight, he'll have Vaporeon. That could be quite hard for us to fight too. Well, early game travel shouldn't be too bad. It's pretty quiet until it's time to get to face Brock. I really don't think Brock is going to be anything close to even an issue here. If either Onix or Geodude even survive a single hit, I'll be surprised given how prevalent their weakness to water is. Of course, I'm always able to be surprised by stuff that happens in these challenges, and colour me surprised I am, because Geodude survives Bubble and hits us with a tackle. I think that's a combination of a weak move and an indifferent special stat, but there we have it as we take it out at the second attempt. Onix also hits a tackle after also surviving a Bubble, but again we down it at the second attempt. Going through Mount Moon, we've got two possibly hard fights ahead. The Nugget Bridge rival fight is always tricky, and though the Misty fight might not be too bad because we do resist her water moves, I think we're going to struggle to hurt her just quite yet. Starmie is an absolute beast, so that is disconcerting. I think we'd need to be at least level 25 when we get Double Slap, and even that, not a guarantee. 10 PP, 15 base power, 85% accurate. That's a heck of a risk. While I'm here, I take the Helix Fossil. Just saying. As soon as I get to Cerulean City, I decide to go and tackle the Nugget Bridge rival fight, since I think this is our best path to victory at the moment. I might even need to wait until level 31 for Body Slam for Misty. I'm not sure what to expect in the rival fight. He is a bit easier in yellow at this point than in red and blue, but not by much, and I think he gets harder later than in red and blue. Spearow is a free hit takedown with Water Gun, but we do get hit by a Leer in the process, which, not ideal, but it never does damage. Sandshrew is a one hit with Water Gun, which, not entirely a surprise. Rattata causes us some trouble because it does have quick attack and uses it to outspeed us and land two decent blows on us, taking 10 HP off each time to wipe out a third of our health, but we take it out with two Water Guns. Last is Eevee, and I waste a considerable amount of time trying to put it to sleep with Hypnosis. I fire 4 of them at the little brown fox dog cat thing, and only one of them connects, putting it to sleep for a grand total of 1 turn before it wakes up. Should have just gone on the attack. It never tries to hit us though with a damaging move, just spams its debuffs, growl, tail whip and 1 sand attack. Nothing else really affects us. We hit some more water guns to bring it down, and we do 4 hit that opponent. I get double slap and decide to make a try on Misty. I can already tell it's going to be wholeheartedly unpleasant for sure. I don't think we're going to get a lot of joy out of this attempt. Coming back with body slam seems like overkill, but then we get this run. Versus Staryu, we crit a 4 hit double slap. Fun fact about Gen 1, if the first hit of a multi-hit move is a crit, they all crit too! Fantastic! Unless you're on the receiving end. That's very nice, and we can quickly bring Staryu down with little trouble. Starmie is going to be an entirely different proposition though. I go for Hypnosis, and the first time we land one. The Starmie immediately wakes up on the same turn. Again, Gen 1 mechanics. Rough and smooth definitely come to mind. It starts spamming Harden too, and there is even an X-Defend thrown in there, so our double slaps, when they even do land, are slowly doing less and less damage. We do crit another 4 hit double slap, and that's a massive relief, but we are slowly running out of PP, and of course some of them miss. About the only saving grace is that when Starmie does hit us with tackle, it's not too debilitating, and we can shrug them off. We run out of double slap PP with Starmie on red health, and then we take it out with water gun for the second badge. Come on! Next major fight is the SSN rival fight. We're well ready for him at this point. It's the electric gym after though, and that could be a barrel of laughs, so I've been getting plenty of fights in. I like to fight everyone on the SSN because the option is lost once the ship departs, and it's leaving experience on the floor. Anyway, this is easy though. Spearow is a single hit with Bubble Beam, which will be our go-to water move until we get Surf. Then we have to face Rattata, and our Bubble Beam takes that apart too, and then it's the fight with Sandshrew, and it's nice to be able to blow it away with no problem. I think Eevee will survive Bubble Beam though, and I'm duly proved right. It only goes for a tail whip though, and we take it out with another Bubble Beam for the win. Surge then! This might be rough. It's the only time in the franchise we have a gym leader with a single Pokemon, but it's a buffed up Raichu and we are weak to electric attacks, so we will have to see if we can stand up to him. I think a Thunderbolt could fry us, and you know what? I'm probably not wrong. It is just a shame for him he never goes for that move. We start landing body slams on Raichu, who only ever goes for Mega Kick, which not only lands, but crits, thanks, and a Mega Punch. But 2 more body slams from us take it out, and it never lands a Jolt on us. Very weird indeed, I will say that. I remember having so much trouble with Surge when I played this game as a kid because level curve straight up. Mind you, there's a few examples of that in this game where the level curve just shoots straight up, but we'll get onto that shortly. Okay, Poliwag trivia then. Poliwag is Satoshi Tajiri's favourite Pokemon. In its Fire Red Pokédex entry, it is stated that Poliwag has black skin. The Ruby and Sapphire Pokédex entry for Poliwhirl states that its skin is covered in an oily fluid. If the same applies to Poliwag, it is theorised that it is something similar to the Bilberry. The berry is black but covered in a wax-like coating that makes it look blue. In Gen 5, they changed Poliwag's base experience yield from 77 to 60, making it the only Pokemon whose base experience yield is the same as its national dex number. In Pokemon Adventures, Poliwag holds the record as the Pokemon who takes the least amount of time to evolve twice, taking only 1 chapter, a trait it shares with Caterpie and Togepi. It shares its species name with its 2 Kanto evolutions and Tympole, as they're all known as the tadpole Pokemon. Prior to Gen 6, Poliwag and Ditto had the same cry. It's based on a tadpole. The spiral pattern on its belly is supposed to represent how the intestines of tadpoles are sometimes seen through their transparent skin. In Lavender Town, we have a fight with the rival in Pokemon Tower, and I figure I'll get this one out of the way while I'm here. I don't think we'll struggle, put it that way. We are getting decently strong. I think we're probably going to be okay going forward for a while. When he begins with the Fearow, and I still want to know what ultimately happens to that bird in this game after this fight, we go for 2 Amnesias, and that means we are going to hit like a train with Bubble Beam. it hits us with 2 Leers, bad choice bub, and then we rip through Fearow with Bubble Beam. Next is Vulpix. This isn't going to end well for him, is it? No, it does not, as Bubble Beam wrecks it. Next is Magnemite, and we fire a Bubble Beam at it to take it out. Then we have Sandshrew. Yeah, does about as well as Vulpix did, and goes down to Bubble Beam. Last is Eevee, and although it survived Bubble Beam last time, we take it down in 1 here to give us a victory. We've got the usual Celadon City choice between Erica and Giovanni next, and I can also get my hands on the Ice Beam TM while in town to increase my tactical options, particularly for grass types. Wonder if that's going to be handy anytime soon. It could well be. I decide to wander down and fight Giovanni first, since I think Erica will be harder given our typing. Giovanni is definitely an easy fight, as he begins with Onix and our Bubble Beam rips straight through it with little trouble. We then have the fight with Rhyhorn, and Bubble Beam does exactly the same to that as it did to Onix. Persian, at the end, is a little harder. It survives the Body Slam, which, not ideal, but Giovanni goes for his signature move of Guard Spec, and we take it out with another Body Slam. I decide to tackle Erica while I am in town and head to the gym to throw down with her, and we do have Ice Beam, so may not be too bad. I mean, we'll have to see. I suppose there is a chance we could get messed up badly, and you know what? This does nearly go badly wrong actually, which just goes to show I should keep my mouth shut. Tangela survives Ice Beam and hits us with Vine Whip, which doesn't actually do that much damage. So I decide to go for Amnesia, just to make sure we resist Grass that bit more and hit Ice Beam that bit harder. Tangela then crits Mega Drain to leave us weak on red health, but we do take it out with Ice Beam. With us doing the equivalent of using Calm Mind twice, we wreck Weeping Bell with Ice Beam very quickly, and then when it comes to the fight with Gloom, that goes down to Ice Beam as well to give us a win, though there's also some food for thought. As I go through Pokemon Tower, let's have a look at what we've got upcoming. The next major fights are either in Fuchsia City with Koga, who has a massive jump in level over Erica, there's that level leap in yellow again, or in Saffron City, where we've got a rival fight, a Giovanni fight, and Sabrina, who, again, has a massive jump in level over Erica. Giovanni shouldn't be too bad in either of the other fights we have against him, neither should Blaine really. Koga and Sabrina might be a bit harder, though the Elite Four after that might not be too bad. Lorelei we may struggle to damage, but the rest of them I've got a good feeling about, particularly if we learn Psychic before then. That might even be the best route to victory over Koga, just saying. I do get Surf, but then trek back to clear out Silphco, and while I'm going through, let's have a bit of a chat about what's going on with the channel. I had a bit of a week off recently, probably going to do a bit more of this going forward. Hammering the Let's Plays is all well and good, but I don't have the same amount of time I used to. Plus, there's been quite a few that I've started and not finished, so we'll see. There will be stuff that comes out that I will want to play. There'll be old stuff I want to go back and play. I did finish the main story for Resident Evil 5 though, finished playing it, finished uploading it, and I finally finished the epilogue for Hidden Treasure of Area Zero in Pokemon Violet. That will definitely be up by now. There's been a bit of Master Showdown as well. We had Brendan versus Cyrus and Wulfric versus Archie 2, meaning that we finally had a Gen 6 character. We've had about 15 of them by now and still no Johto character, which is quite weird. Yeah, 2 more fights planned out. They might even have taken place by this point, but probably won't have been uploaded. Let's talk about challenges. This one is going well so far, but there are 2 potentially tricky back-to-back ones coming now, as next time we seek to see if I can beat Pokemon Heart Gold with a team of Oddish and Bellsprout. That could be interesting. Grass type does not do well in that region. The one after that is an Emerald challenge, but that is all I'll say. I have plotted challenges through until the middle of August, so if you do put a challenge idea in, it probably won't get done for that amount of time. But barring one I've got for a few weeks from now, it's all viewer submissions in that time, so we're having a year of it. But yeah, if you do have any ideas for future challenges, throw them in. I do keep them and I do try to get around to them eventually. Can do it in the comments section or follow the links below to my Twitter or my Discord. Let's get back to the action. Rival fight then, let's do this. This is traditionally when his team does start to get pretty scary, but I'm reasonably confident, so we might as well just jump straight in and hope for the best. I don't think we should have problems, that's what I believe going in, and we get pretty unlucky almost straight off the bat. So, Sand Slashes first, and we go straight for Surf because it likely has Sand Attack and I don't want to take the chance. It goes down, but Magneton is next. We go for Amnesia, but get hit with a Thunder Shock, which both crits and paralyses us because, of course, we never get the chance to attack again and Julie get dispatched with 2 more Thunder Shocks for the loss. Well, that went well, not at all. I go again straight after and get back into the fight because I don't think that was something that is going to happen repeatedly. I really hope that comment doesn't come back to haunt me at all. This time is an effort that goes so much better. I go for Amnesia versus Sand Slash this time, taking the chance, but it doesn't go for Sand Attack and instead Poison stings us for about 4 points of damage. By a minor miracle, we also don't get poisoned. We take Magneton down with Surf, and when Ninetales comes out after, we do the same thing there. Kadabra is a single hit takedown with Body Slam, which is largely the reason I still have that move, before Vaporeon is last, and though we get hit with a Sand Attack, we drop it with 2 Body Slams to give us a win. Giovanni is next, and I'm not going to lie, I don't think this is going to be too much of a concern. I think we should have the better of it. That said, I have been wrong before and quite recently, but we should be fine. I'm definitely positive going in here. We go for 1 Amnesia versus Nidorino and get hit with Double Kick, which doesn't do a lot of damage. I didn't heal going into this fight, which is either not going to matter or really cost me. We take it out with Surf. Persian is next, and given how much cats hate getting wet, we drop it with Surf. Rhyhorn, yeah, it gets sunk like a stone with Surf. And last is Nidoqueen, and Surf also takes it out. We do the sweep and we can move on into the Psychic Gym. This is not an easy fight in this game, so we will have to see how it goes. Even Abra at the start is sometimes rough because, although it only has 1 move, it is Flash, and reduced accuracy is not fun in a single Pokemon run. So, if we are going to power up, we need to do it later. Also, Alakazam is a crit machine in Gen 1, so let's see. Abra goes down to a single Body Slam, so crisis momentarily averted. Next is Kadabra, and that also goes down to our Body Slam. So, we've done 2/3 of the fight without getting hit. Alakazam does survive Body Slam, but only goes for Reflect, and we've hurt it badly enough that even with the buff, another Body Slam takes it out. With that, we've got 5 badges down, let's go face Koga. I could have learned Psychic for this fight, but I'm going to try it with just Surf. I do think Psychic may be useful later, so I have the TM, but for now, let's stick with the moveset that we have and see how we go on. Koga isn't a problem really. We go for Amnesia versus the first Venonat, and while we're powering up, it misses Sleep Powder. That might have been problematic if it had connected, but it didn't, so oh well. We take it out with Surf, critting it, which isn't ideal, since crits negate your own stat buffs in this game. We take out the next 2 Venonat, also with Surf, neither of them standing up to us before the Venomoth is last. And once again, we crit Surf, but it survives and hits us for a few meager points of damage with Leech Life, which isn't going to be a problem as we finish the Venomoth off and take the win. Blaine is next. I mean, do I really have to say how much of an advantage I feel like we'll probably have here? I don't even think this one is going to be even close to being an issue, so I think we just walk in there, power up, and then one-shot sweep with Surf. It's a bold strategy, but will it be a success? Yes, is the answer. We go for an Amnesia versus Ninetales, and then we get hit with Flamethrower for not a lot of damage. We then down it with Surf. Ninetales has decent special in this game, so that's a relief. Rapidash also goes down to Surf before Arcanine is last. And as much as it pains me, we put the doggo down to give us the 7th badge, and we are almost there. Giovanni's gym is last, and having fought through the gym trainers, this is where it comes down to. We march in there, we move through the maze, avoiding the moving tiles where possible. Just wondering, did Giovanni own shares in the company that made these things, by the way? I mean, there's got to be a reason that these moving arrow tiles are everywhere. Anyway, the fight. Doug Trio goes down to Surf. Persian is next. I feel certain it can't hurt us, so we go for Amnesia. Critical hit 5-turn Fury swipes, anyone? Yeah, that royally messes us up, doing over half our health in damage, but we take it out with Surf. Nidoqueen goes down to Surf, and in the next round of the fight, so does Nidoking. So, we then have to complete the fight versus Rhydon, and it goes down hard to Surf to give us the win and the final badge. There is a rival fight still to do before we can enter Victory Road, so let's go and get it on. We have to do this, we can't avoid it like I did this fight earlier in the game. I need to remember what happened in that first attempt at Silphco 2. Power up versus Sandslash, I can't risk it versus Magneton. Anyway, we go for Amnesia versus Sandslash, just as I just said, and get hit with Poison Sting, which, not a problem, we take it out with Surf. Execute goes down to Ice Beam, which is handy, before we take Magneton out with a Surf. So far, we're in cruise control. Ninetales goes down to Surf, before we take the Kadabra out with Body Slam to put us into the fight with Vaporeon. Our Body Slam does less than half, but then it goes for Acid Armour, so I might as well start using Surf instead. We don't hit it particularly hard with Surf, but it keeps spamming Acid Armour, so eventually we do take it down with the Surf attacks to give us a win, and we can move along. I feel like this Vaporeon is going to be awkward in the final fight, just saying. As we go through Victory Road, let's have a look at what's ahead. We've got the Elite Four next, and that is possibly going to be a cause for concern. Lorelei will probably be the hardest. It's usual Lorelei stuff with her bulky team. I still kind of think Amnesia and Psychic might be the best route to victory, but it still might mean Slowbro is a problem. I doubt we'll do enough damage with Body Slam, that's my concern. Cloyster, Dugong and Lapras are all pretty bulky, so that's the concern. Bruno shouldn't be an issue, especially if I do get Psychic, but all his team are specially weak. Agatha, again, would be handy if we had Psychic, as her entire team is weak to it. Remember the first season of the anime, when they made out Ghost types with the Bane of Psychic types, and the game told us something entirely different? Ah, memories. Lance shouldn't be too bad once we get past his Gyarados, and well, the rival is probably going to pose about as much of a challenge as he has all the way through, especially if we can get some Amnesia going. We'll see. When I get to the Indigo Plateau, here are our stats at level 73. Our speed is our best stat by a mile. Our attack and defence are pretty even with only 4 points between them, but when we look at that special stat, that is something that would be worrying if we didn't have Amnesia for sure. Again, can't emphasise just how broken that move is in this generation. I've said my thoughts on how I think we'll do versus each Elite Four member at the moment, so the only thing that remains to say is take your guesses on if you think we can do it at this level or not. Right now, folks, let's go for it. Ice-type trainer Lorelei is first, and resisting both water and ice is nice. I think I'm going to bite the bullet and replace Body Slam with Psychic, just to give us a good offensive option against some of the fights here. I mean, I still have to be careful if we crit, because that's going to negatively affect the wanton use of Amnesia, but we'll have to see. On the subject of Amnesia, I go for it 3 times versus Dugong, while it hits us with Bull Beam for little damage, and then goes for rest twice while at full health, which is perhaps not the strategy best befitting one of the apparent top 4 trainers in the land. It then survives Psychic because we crit the move, it lands Takedown, and we then have to finish Dugong off with another Psychic. Next is Cloyster, and we one-shot it with Psychic, before Slowbro is next, and this time we go for our +6 Surf and dually wreck it hard to put us into the fight with Jinx, who we also one-shot with Surf. Last is Lapras, and it narrowly survives our Psychic and hits Body Slam. By some surprising miracle, we don't get paralysed by the move, and we can finish Lapras off with Surf. 1 down! Into Bruno, and how do we think this will go? I'm pretty confident, you know. Hey, it's Bruno, isn't it? Notorious for having an AI in Gen 1 almost on a par with Blaine's. We've got super effective moves here, unlike versus Lorelei, so it should go well, right? Let's see. We go for an Amnesia versus Onyx number 1, just to be sure, and it goes for Dig. With us unable to hit it while it's underground, we go for another Amnesia and then get clumped by Dig. Retribution is swift as we down the Onyx with Surf. Hitmonchan goes down to Psychic, and so on the next turn does Hitmonlee. Not a surprise, they're amongst the lowest special stats for fully evolved Pokemon in this game. Onyx number 2 goes down to Surf, and we take Machamp down on the next turn with Psychic for a quick win. 2 down! Next is Agatha, and I think if anyone has the capacity to mess us up badly here, it's her. Agatha is about to make a debut on the next round of Pokemon Master Showdown. Just saying, that will probably be up tomorrow unless something has gone badly wrong, which I can't possibly foresee at time of recording. Anyway, same tactics. We go for Amnesia versus Gengar number 1, and it goes for Substitute, which might be problematic because I know something about its moveset. We go for Surf to break the Substitute, which it then goes for Mega Drain, which I knew it had. Remember, many moons ago I did Pokemon Red with Agatha's team and moves, and I avoided using her yellow team for that reason because Mega Drain was more coverage. Anyway, we try to finish it with Surf, and then we do have to finish it with Ice Beam. Golbat goes down to Ice Beam before we do take the Haunter out with Psychic on the next turn after. Arbok also goes down to Psychic, and the final opponent is the second Gengar. Once again, Psychic comes up trumps and we down it for the victory. Okay, Lance then. We've used an elixir to restore our PP and we stand ready to face the Dragon-type trainer. Once Gyarados is out of the way, I think we will be absolutely fine. Just to reiterate that point. I know it's the final opponent, or supposed to be, but it always gets me how this room is different to every other room in the league. We go for 2 Amnesias versus Gyarados to get our special up, during which time we get hit with Leer and Dragon Rage, which very much not ideal, but we are fine so far. It survives Psychic, not good at all, and then misses Hyper Beam. That is massive because that might actually have been fatal with the defense drop. We finish it with Surf. Dragonair number 1 goes down to Ice Beam, and shortly after we do the same to Dragonair number 2, so both of those are out the way. Aerodactyl is 4th and we bring it down with Surf before there's the fight with Dragonite. Hey, that rhymed. Ice Beam all the way, we bring it down, we move on into the fight with the rival. Nearly there. This is it. This is the time to fight Rod, and when we win, we can put this challenge behind us and I can move on to the next one. It's been pleasant so far, but we have this final obstacle we need to get past. Let's do this. Sandslash is first, and I don't want to take chances, so we go for 1 Amnesia while we get hit with the 2 Hit Fury swipes. That is immensely fortunate that A, it didn't crit, and B, we didn't get hit 5 times. We then take it out with Surf. Alakazam is next, and I go for 1 more Amnesia, and we shrug off a Psychic, but we get our special lowered. We take it out with Surf though, which is massive. Next is Executor, and it survives Ice Beam, but does get frozen on red health. Since freeze is a permanent condition in this game, I take the chance to really power up with Amnesias, spamming them up to max to make sure that we hit as hard as possible come the rest of the battle, and we do eventually take Executor down. Ninetales is 4th and we drop it with Surf before the Magneton is 5th and another Surf also wrecks it hard to put us into the fight with the Porygon, who does land a quick attack on us. It then shrugs off our +6 Psychic and survives with about 1/3 of its health left, which prompts the question of just how good is Vaporeon's special stat in this game. But we take it out at the second attempt to give us the win, and just like that, we've done it, we've completed the run, we've won the game, and we can go off to enter the Hall of Fame. Well, that was fun. Perhaps not even close to being the hardest run that I've ever had in Yellow, never mind ever, but I enjoyed it. A nice little appetizer before going into the next run, which I'm fully expecting to be brutal. Thanks for watching folks, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment away and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Join me again next time for another Pokemon challenge as we go through Pokemon Heart Gold with a team of Oddish and Bellsprout. That one may be brutal, I fear, but let's go for it. I have some thoughts about what might be tough in that game. Just going back to my point about Vaporeon's stats, I've opened up Cerebi in the meantime. Now, I think it's a combination of a quite good special stat, 110 in this game, which is in the top 10%, but Vaporeon is also in the top 5 for HP stat in this game. It's tied with Lapras. There's only Chansey, Snorlax and Wigglytuff that is actually better than it, so that might go some way to explain it. Well, just on a side note then folks, as the video comes to an end, January also came to an end. The longest month of the year, it feels sometimes. We're nearly at the halfway point of February now, and Valentine's Day approaches. Already got the gift sorted for my girlfriend, and I can't wait to see her face. Things can change very quickly, and it's always good to savour the moments. Looking to do some sort of away trip at some point soon, so we will have to see. Planning on taking her to a steakhouse either this weekend or next, so we'll have to see how that one goes. Went to a Turkish restaurant a few weeks back with her, which was great. It's been far too long since I've drunk raki. Anyway, going to jump off here, so yeah, catch you next time folks. As always, this has been Once and Future Gamer, and this has been Pokemon Yellow with a single Poliwag. Take care, have a great day, and see you next time. Bye bye now. So long, see ya, take care.